Hi, I'm Mike Hargis with the Hargis Family Agency, and I'd like to talk to you today as a consumer about how you need to look at shopping for insurance to make sure you get the best value for your premium dollars. So I'm going to show you two examples here of how many insurance companies quote insurance, and then you decide which one is the better buy. So the first example, in most states, the liability minimum limits to get you street legal are around this 25, 50, 25. That means $25,000 for one person injured, $50,000 for two or more injured is the maximum the company would pay, and then an additional $25,000 if there's property damage involved, where you damage the other person's car. So that liability protects you. They pay up to that limit and no more. There's $5,000 right here for medical payments, so you don't have to be sued to get that money paid if someone's injured getting in your car, out of your car, or something along those lines. The comprehensive and collision coverages have a $250 deductible here. So on a typical $20,000 car, that means if it was totaled in a collision or totaled under the comprehensive coverages of theft, fire, flood, and many more, then you'd get $19,750 for that $20,000 car. And then an uninsured motorist, most of the time with state minimum policies, you're going to have a match here of 25, 50, 25. So if you go to insurance companies and you say, I want full coverage, many times in a commodity concept, they're going to quote you minimum limits and lower deductibles. But is that really the way to do it? So let's add up the value of this basic state minimum policy to see how much it would pay out for the premium. So if you look here, $50,000 for two or more people plus $25,000 means the maximum that liability could be paid out would be $75,000. The maximum under medical payments is $5,000. The maximum under comp and collision with $250 deductible on a $20,000 car means that you would get $19,750 and $19,750. And then uninsured motorist, again, $50,000 for two or more people injured plus 25 means the maximum paid out under that coverage would be $75,000. So if you total all those up to see what is the value of the state minimum policy, in this case it's $194,500 is the most it could pay out if every coverage were in play. Okay? Now, the typical premium for policies like that, as an example, might be $125 a month or $1,500 a year for that product. If you do the math and you divide the $1,500 into the $194,500, the math is you get $130 worth of coverage for every dollar you're spending that year in premium. Okay? Now let's look at another example. Now, this is maybe a better idea in that what we're going to do is bump the comprehensive and collision deductibles up one notch and save that money to buy bigger liability and bigger uninsured motorists to better protect your assets and your family in a serious car accident. So 100, 300, 100 under liability means that the company would maximum payout would be $300,000 for two or more people injured, $100,000 for the property damage, or a total of $400,000. We bumped up the medical payments, doubled them to $10,000, so that would pay out a max of $10,000. We bumped up the collision deductible, so on a $20,000 car, you would get $19,500 under each one if it was totaled in a collision, or if it was stolen or in a fire or in a flood. And then under underinsured, uninsured motorists, it's 100, 300, 100, so you add 300 for two or more people to the 100, another maximum payout in that coverage of $400,000. So if you totaled up all the coverage in this package, it goes from $194,500 all the way up to $849,000. And the premium here goes up a little too, from $125 a month to $133 a month. So you can see it doesn't cost a lot more to really get a lot more coverage. That's $1,600 a year. If you divide $1,600 into the $849,000 of the value of this policy, then you're for every dollar in premium, you're getting $530 of coverage. So you can see here, it's almost 4 times more, 400% more coverage for just for comparing those two packages. It's a lot like buying beer. Now, you know, I hang around some beer drinkers. If you go to the store and buy a 6-pack, then the 6-pack price per can is pretty expensive. If you buy a case of beer, then the can price drops. You got a lot more beer to drink. So always buy the case, don't buy the six-pack.